Hi everyone, this is Martha. I'm at Changi Airport Terminal 1 and my flight is in an hour. I have half an hour before the gate opens for boarding, about half an hour. And I was just inspired to do this short video. So to show you where I am at. On the second floor, the food court, and then this is where I'm at. Yeah, so there are people around me. And recently I noticed this thing happening with my clients. Several of them, they would say things like, oh yeah, I tried to do this, tried to put on sexy lingerie, tried to spice things up with sex toy. And what can happen is that they recognize that there's a problem, and then they start to try to solve an issue. But they didn't actually discuss this with their partner. So there's no buy-in from their partner. They're just trying by themselves. And so they come to me, and when we start brainstorming and we say these are things that they could try, they would say, I've already tried it. So what I just want to say is, whatever the problem is in the relationship, whether it's lack of sexual excitement, sexual boredom, whether it's any other kind of conflicts in the relationship, sometimes one partner is more aware, more inclined to do something about it than the other. And so they try in their own way. However, they didn't communicate with their partner, and so this can lead to them doing something by themselves in the dark, and their partner is actually may not even be aware that there's a problem. Their partner may not be having a buy-in because obviously the problem hasn't been communicated to them. Perhaps they are in denial of the problem. And so when they come to me and we start brainstorming what they could possibly start to work on, to say something like, yeah, I've already tried it, it's not necessarily useful, because it's not what you do, it's also the attitude behind it, the way you do it. And it's not just one person doing all the heavy lifting. It's also the other person that is involved in the relationship. So I started to call it, are you solving a problem as somebody who is doing it by yourself or doing it as a couple? It does make a huge difference. Even if the problem is not necessarily resolved, talking about it, acknowledging it, admitting it to yourself, accepting it, these are all steps towards starting to be able to work on an issue. So this is why I start to call it something being done to versus being part of. And you could still be doing the same things, but the attitude is now different. When couples come to me and say, oh, you know, we want to spice things out, I've been trying to spice things out, I've been trying in my own way, he's not receptive, he's not open, maybe that's because they were not in that headspace of we are a team. They're not in the headspace of it's not some kind of a contrived as it is strategy. But when they have a buy-in, they understand where you're coming from, the intention, it's more likely to work better. So I start to say this to my clients, and often the other person would agree that, yeah, that's exactly what was happening. One person is trying, the other is not, the other is resisting, not admitting to themselves, not having the buy-in. And obviously it doesn't work no matter what you're trying, because the person doesn't know the program, the game plan. So I just wanted to make this short video to bring to your attention that it is really important when you want to solve an issue to tackle it together. And trying things in the dark by yourself may not necessarily work. What has happened sometimes is that maybe they've, as a couple, have talked about it, and their partner may not be understanding their point of view. And so by coming to someone like me, who is a sex and relationship counselor, what I often do is I facilitate an open discussion with them, because the topic is just so close to their heart. It's actually really difficult to be more neutral and really come from a place of groundedness, so that they slow down enough to really listen to each other. So my work sometimes I feel involves almost like mediation as well. One person is saying something, the other person is not really listening, and I get them to, I catch how when they reflect back to their partner what was being said, I catch them missing out certain things, and I just point it out to them. Did you realize your partner actually said this? Did you notice how your partner is looking when you're saying this? How your partner might be feeling? And it's really important that when we communicate, we're not just communicating just words, we're communicating emotions. And when we come from the head, we can be very logical, things that should be done. But when we don't acknowledge the heart and what's really happening, sometimes it's still not going to work, because they don't feel heard, they don't feel acknowledged for their perspective. So this is why going to a counselor, a third party, can be very useful, because they are trained, they are neutral, they don't have an agenda, they may see certain patterns and tendencies with their clients, and they have experience navigating them through those challenges. And I just wanted to make this short video to highlight how a lot of couples are actually trying in the dark by themselves in their own way without actually communicating with their partner, and that is part of the problem. So this is Martha from Eros Coaching. I'm at Changi Airport Terminal 1, and I'm going to Manila. I am offering several workshops there, depending how you count it. One is not really a workshop, it's more like a open to the floor question and answer. So there's Ask Me Anything, there's the Art of Fellatio, one of my most popular workshops, and then several more conscious, intentional, relating workshops, some of which I developed by myself, because along the way I just put together several things that I've learned, and made it a little different. Like, for instance, instead of having an art of eye gazing workshop, I changed it to soul gazing, and that adds a different spin to the traditional just looking into each other's eyes. And then I have the art of deep listening workshop, where I get them to start practicing counseling techniques. So these are some things that I'm offering in Philippines, Manila this time. And it's the first time that I'm presenting in Philippines. I'm really excited. I really hope that I have more opportunities to present there. When I travel to countries around the region, Malaysia, this time Philippines, I don't really think that I'm going to be earning lots of money. I think I just come more from the intention of serving and helping more people with my work. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to share. So thanks for watching and have a good day.